Hello and welcome along to the Cannington Wednesday preview. David Shortte and Troy the boy Iwanyk with you. How do you do, Troy?
Yeah, I'm very good, Shorty. Here with you and looking forward to talking about a big week of racing. How are you doing?
Yeah, really good, really good. You're bang on the mark. We have Friday night chasing down there at Mandurah, 4 heats of the winter sprint, and they are absolutely chock full of quality. Then we switch up in trip to the 600 metres on Saturday night at Cannington for the Paradise Street Trophy heats, the race that pays tribute to one of our star stayers from yesteryear. Let's go down to Mandurah though on Friday night to kick it all off, Troy, and look at these 4 heats. The first of them is the first leg of the quaddie race, number 5, Sires on Ice Winter Sprint Heat 1, Elite Deluxe in 1, Hello Cindy Lou in 2, Frogs Manelli in box number 3 and 4, Nala Patanga 5, Clifton Jasper 6, Brave Annie 7, Rigatoni Manelli, and out in box number 8 is Gold Smirch. Really talented bunch of chasers strutting their stuff here. Going through the key prospects, number 5, I thought Clifton Jasper, coming off a nice win last time out, right in the mix, has won here well in the past. 1 Elite Deluxe from the draw looms as one of the key prospects. 3 Frogs Manelli, we've discussed ad nauseum on this program over the last few weeks. It's been going around in some tougher races over the longer distance, steps back here. And 6 Brave Annie, winner 2 of its last 3 in slick times for Andrew McLaren, and another of the real top line chances. I didn't have much between 1, 3, 5 and 6 in the first heat there, Troy.
Yeah, tough race, Shorty, as you've mentioned. I'm not going to repeat the ones you've mentioned because I think you're pretty spot on. Clifton Jasper, I do like it. I just think it's got to get the start right. If it gets the start right, this could be game on for it. But I like Gold Smirch out wide. I just think this greyhound's one that's been in really good form, been racing good at Northam, and I reckon with its form at, or earlier form at Northam, I should say. But I reckon with the right run here, it could really put itself in this race. It's a greyhound on the rise. So I reckon we might get value. It does need a bit of luck in this type of a race, but I'm going to go Gold Smirch with Clifton Jasper if it jumps, but I'm just off Frogs. He's just not jumping for me, Frogs.
Fair enough. It would be strong if it does happen to ping. But Gold Smirch's worth noticing too, worth mentioning for Tony Scott. These dogs that are lower grades that work through, they often find themselves full of confidence when they do get up in grade because they've literally been too classy for the lower grade. So if they happen to find themselves jamming a little bit on the inside, which can happen over the 400 metres, you can get that slingshot out wide with the Fairy Floss runner, and that may be the case with Gold Smirch, as Troy's alluded to there. On to the second of the winter sprint heats, Sunset Chromium in 1, Our Aussie Salute 2, Western Harry 3, Another Jimmy 4, Aston Nero 5, Action Shot in 6, Jafford's Manelli 7, and Monkey Magic in 8. I thought that almost any canine could win this without it being a big surprise, Troy, and a little bit of luck early is going to go a long way here. Clearly, Our Aussie Salute, if you just look at career earnings and what the dogs have done, is the dog that's been there and done it. It's gone around in a lot of our big top flight sprint series throughout the course of its lifetime, but not quite in the purple patch of form that we've seen this dog be in at different stages of its career, where it has mixed it with some of the best greyhounds in the nation.
Yeah, like I've got Aussie Salute on top, but I'm 100% in agreement with you here. Anything could win this. It's just one of those races. So I've said it many times on the show, and I'll say it again. If you like something, have a play, because you're going to get value here if you like anything in the race, pretty much. And Aussie Salute on top with no confidence.
Yeah, look, enormous trust in Jamie Marsh. He's done a mighty job with Our Aussie Salute right the way through, and this bunch of dogs, this litter that he's had through with Fuzz Barranca, have really loved the Mandurah 400 metre circuit on the way through. So is the best greyhound if you look at career records, but needs to get the start right given how much speed there is in that heat. On to the third of the heats, race number 7, Prime Trophies Winter Sprint Heat. Boulder Fun in box number 1, Farmer Russell in box number 2. We have Hudson in 3, Aston Walker 4, Zulu Yalla in 5, Jimmy's Jet in 6, Let Me Cook 7, Sunset Agrippa in box number 8. Jimmy's Jet, very talented greyhound, has had some injury concerns in recent times. Great to see this dog back at the races though, and was a super winner going back a couple of starts ago in quick time. Number 2, Farmer Russell, is another chaser for Corey White, who has been very consistent and reliable. Number 5 in Zulu Yalla, no luck last time out, but prior to that was racing particularly well. And Let Me Cook, the draw's not ideal, but the dog's racing well, 6, 2, 5, 7, but another really high quality heat number 3.
Yeah, another tough one. These are really tough heats, these ones. They're so consistent and, even, I should say, in terms of form and where these greyhounds are at. You've mentioned Jimmy's Jet and Farmer Russell. I like both of those. Zulu Yellow, also you've mentioned, and Let Me Cook. Let Me Cook could be the one that really shows some pace out wide. It's got the ability to really get going. And a sneaky one, I reckon, that if you're looking for a bit of value, Bolt of Fun off the inside does need everything to go its right way, and it probably needs to turn around its form a little bit at the moment, but capable of running quick early. And the red might just change its fortunes a little bit, but does need to really get off and gone. But if you're playing exotics, make sure you include that one somewhere. But look, Jimmy's Jet, smart chaser, as you've mentioned, returning from injury after, I think it had a run last week. If it does get back to that original Jimmy, the Jet that we know, he is a Jet. So watch him go. He's not the quickest early all the time, but his acceleration is enormous. And once he gets going, he leaves them behind. So yeah, a great race to watch, even if you're not having a punt. But if you are having a punt, good luck.
Yeah, big motor. He's a big motor dog, Jimmy's, no doubt about that. But another great heat. In the final heat, Tic Tac Manelli 1, Tarawai 2, Iconic Guess in box number 3, Hong Kong Fooey in 4, in 5, Aussie Gem, 6, Southern Star 7, Burn West Bolter, and out there in the Fairy Floss, Moo Move. Another quality sprint heat here. I'm going to refer to Iconic Guess from box number 3 as probably, of the 4 heats, this is the one I'm most confident about, mainly because Iconic Guess has been getting it done against our best city sprinters the last 3 starts in a row, and they've been done in different forms. Iconic Guess can show good early pace, which you're going to need to here over the 400 metres. If it posies up somewhere near them, given what we've seen over the 500 in recent starts, you'd expect the strength of Iconic Guess to be really hard to hold out here. So 3 on top, but respecting Aussie Gem, you have to throw it into Trifecta's first 4s. Very rare it misses the frame. 8, Moo Move, room to move out there in box number 8, and 7, Burn West Bolter, a win and 2 placings from its last 4 with a safe getaway. It can play a part, but for me, number 3, Iconic Guess, one of the better prospects on the program.
Yeah, I'm going to disagree with you here, Shorty. I like Iconic Guess, but I'm really keen on Aussie Gem here. I love what this greyhound's been doing over the 400. I think it's the one that could be the one to really get going in this sort of race. And I also reckon Tarawai off the 2. This greyhound shows great early pace, gets a little bit tired over the longer trip, but over the short, we know this greyhound can really run. And if it gets out like it does over the longer trips, it could be off and gone early, and then it's a case of catch me if you can. Moo Move out in the pink, loves the wide draw, so it's definitely going to be suited out there. But this is a little bit tougher than maybe some of its other races. But Aussie Gem, Tarawai for me, and of course Iconic Guess. If it does get the right run into this, it is going to be tough to beat because it is going to be strong at the end. I just reckon Tarawai and Aussie Gem have got the pace early. One of those two could be the early leaders.
Yeah, absolutely. If you can get a clear lead in these races, it does help because there's a lot of dogs that can run similar splits. If they don't, though, an Iconic Guess is camped right there. 3 straight city wins over the 500 normally looks pretty good for a sprint race if it can sit handy, but we'll have to wait and see.
The benefit with Iconic Guess, Shorty, it's just getting it done, isn't he? He's finding a way. None of the races have been easy, land on the arm, get it, like just run off and be gone.
Yeah.
He's had to really work, and he's showing great track sense and track smart. So, definitely a greyhound with the right run is going to be tough to hold out.
Doing it the tradesman's way, which I like. It doesn't, some of the other dogs need to lead to win. It's not necessarily that sort of cane on. Anyway, however you like it and however you break it down, Friday night Mandurah, the 4 quaddie legs, outstanding winter sprint heats. I think everybody would be delighted, and nobody turns up to the track thinking they've got a moral. I wouldn't have thought in any of those 4 heats. Good luck to everybody with a runner through that feature series on Friday night. Let's switch our focus now to Cannington on Saturday. We go from sprint racing up to middle distance racing, and this is the race that pays tribute to one of my all-time favourite chasers here in WA, Paradise Street, of course, winner of the National Distance Championship, a very, very smart greyhound over here in WA. He sort of flipped and flopped from WA to Victoria. There were many weekends where nobody wanted to race against Paradise Street Troy. Back through that generation, we didn't probably have the numbers of dogs that we maybe do have at different stages of chasing here in WA, and the top line stayers often scared off their sort of potential opposition. They would drop down to sprint races or indeed another sort of lower event on the night, and would often leave our top line stayers locked out. So Paradise Street flipped and flopped from Melbourne back to here whenever we had feature series on, but was a star stayer. And we've got 2 cracking heats on Saturday night of the Paradise Street Trophy. We'll have a look at a couple of replays before we get into the 2 heats themselves. Miss Envy, of course, dual WA Greyhound of the Year. She went round last week here from box number 6 and follows over West On Model in the early stages and then shoots to the top. Naughty Evie, King Kuna, Ironworks, they're all there chasing hard behind Miss Envy, but have a look at her click through the gears down the back straight. She's in a league of her own. She goes on to win by a big margin in the end, some 6.5 lengths, and the time was sizzling. A new PB of 34 and 37 lets us know that Miss Envy is certainly in very good nick and will take some beating this weekend. And then we'll have a look at another winner last Saturday night. Draws box number 8 here. Young chaser by the name of Charmer. And what it does here is incredibly impressive. So you can see from box number 8, it's an average beginning. It has to scout right round the outside of the entire field, through that first corner, right along the entire front straight, and then even round past the 380 metre boxes. Charmer is still out there working overtime, just powering around them, eventually gets to the top, and once it does get to the front, love the way that it finishes the race, asserts its authority over the concluding stages, wins by 6 lengths. Look, the time wasn't anything crazy, 34.92, but you have a look at the way that this dog won that race and how it's overcome adversity. It's been plonked out wide on the track for effectively almost half of the race and still gone on to win with juice left in the tank. To me, that is the sign of a dog that looks a really nice stayer in the making. So they're the 2 replays that we'll look at. Now we'll have a look at the fields themselves, Troy, kicking off in the first of them. Pam Keeping 1, Incredible Shine 2, Miss Envy 3, Aston Ruler in 4, Naughty Evie 6, Max Capacity in 7, and Just a Bindi out there in box number 8. Off that replay there, pretty hard to be tipping against Miss Envy.
Yeah, and I'm not. I certainly am not. We spoke about the heat or the run prior to the week, and we said it was a little bit not off for her, but just not quite the Miss Envy we're used to seeing. She got beaten in that run and bounced back last week and just absolutely put him to the sword and was way too good. And I got no doubt she will be again this week. Comes in closer to the rail. She gets hopefully an easier run to the fence. And if she does that, she's off and gone. So I can't see them beating her in this one. Greyhound racing's a funny game. Anything can happen. But on paper, she's definitely the standout.
Big style, yep. I'm with you. Won't be tipping away from her. She's certainly showed last week she's back in tip-top form. The time 34.37, testimony to that. Her overall record's phenomenal. All I would say is if you love your greyhound racing, get around this bitch and enjoy it while she's still racing. She wouldn't have a truckload of racing left in her. She's got nothing left to achieve on the track, to be brutally honest. She's done it all on the way through, and it's an absolute honour to watch her race each and every week. So get around her while she's still racing. Make the most of it. She'll be awfully hard to beat here. I thought number 4, Aston Ruler, who was a really good winner last time out, and the other dog, Incredible Shine, is another that's been going along very nicely for Fran Farrell. I'll be throwing them in around Miss Envy to try and get a little bit of value out of the race. She'll no doubt be short, but she does look sweet in the first of the heats.
Just going to say, Shorty, Miss Envy, we spoke about this a while ago on the show and talked about her potentially being a stayer in terms of stepping up to the 700, and that could be the career that she goes on to following some of these 600 metre runs, and this could be the stepping stone towards a staying career towards the end of her career. So definitely exciting times. I mean, if she can come out and repeat what she did last week, could we see her over 700 sooner rather than later, and then what's she going to do over that trip? Because that could be exciting.
Well, and I guess the upside, we've said it so many times over the years, when you get a bitch of her quality up to that 700 metre trip, the split she runs, she's effectively going to be unleadable over the 700 metres. So it then just comes down to, is she going to run herself out of petrol tickets up front, or does she just keep running similar splits, blow the clock up, and become a real star, lead all the way style of stayer long term?
Well, she could be one of those greyhounds that blows the clock out early stages in her career over 700. And I say early stage of her career, it's a later stage of her career, but early 700 career. And then as she gets a bit more dour, she might adjust over time, and we'll see a greyhound who can lead, run good sectionals, and still run it out strong. So either way, exciting times for this greyhound. I've been so excited to see what she does if she does get to the 700, and let's just hope she comes out, blows this field away. I'd love to see the Shinners say, all right, let's go, girl, and let's step her up to 700.
She's been a wonderfully versatile campaigner right the way through, raced all over Australia, and like we said, sprint trips up to the middle distance where she has starred. She's an absolute beauty, and like I say, make the most of them. These dogs don't race forever, and when you've got a star like her, enjoy each and every time she goes to the races. On to the second of the Paradise Street Trophy heat Saturday night. Incredible Rogue 1, Spencer 2, Sharma in 3, Ironworks 4, 6 King Kuna, 7 Garrity, 8 King Nangar. Another cracking lineup. I'm going to team up with the red runner here, Incredible Rogue, for Fran Farrell. I do like this dog, coming off a 29.43 win at Northam over the 5:09, back to Cannington. I love the Northam to Mandurah, Northam to Cannington. Often dogs really spark up off those sorts of preparations. Incredible Rogue has run as quick as 34.3 here in the past. Huge motor dog, drawn well in box number 1, great box 1 record, the dog to beat. Respecting Spencer, Charmer, as we touched on watching that replay earlier, is a young dog on the rise. I've got enormous respect for it. 4 Ironworks will get back and be charging home again. And the dog that is likely to be value in this race and is a must include, handles wide, no problem at all. Coming off a win last start over the sprint, and I think it can hit the frame, is Garrity out there in box number 7. But Incredible Rogue will get the nod for me in the second of the Paradise Street Trophy heats on Saturday night. Troy?
Yeah, I'm a bit like you, Shortte. I love the Northern to Cannington change. The scenery, the change in track can just spark some dogs up, and particularly if they're racing during the day at Northam and then they come to the night time racing at Cannington. So it could be Incredible Rogue's race, but I am going to lead towards Sharma. It's a bit risky here because I don't know if Sharma's got the time yet over the 600 to beat Incredible Rogue, but that run last week to do what it did, as we saw in the replay before, to go around an entire field for nearly half the race and be putting the foot down and outspeeding them, it's a hard thing to do, and not many dogs in greyhound racing can do that. It's just such a phenomenal way to win a race.
You think about how much extra ground it's covered. So it's a 600 metre race. It's probably gone 640 metres, like the extra ground that it's covered on the way through.
It's running wide, it's covering more ground, and it's beating the dogs on the inside. So it's not just working outside and sort of holding its ground. It was taking ground off them all the way around. So phenomenal effort. And
looks to be 700 metres, heading forward. It's got 700 written all over it. To be able to do that so early in your career as a middle distance dog.
Now, the question is, can it get into I'll rephrase. The big issue with this greyhound, box manners. Just doesn't begin. And this is where Incredible Rogue, if it lands on the arm, I don't know if Sharma can catch it time-wise, but if Sharma can get a little bit quicker out the boxes, just find a bit more early and not sort of drop out, it could be the greyhound that just sets the track alight. So I'm going to lead towards Sharma, only because I think we're going to get some value because of Incredible Rogue. I do think Incredible Rogue on paper is the one to beat, but Sharma from its run last week, if it can go to another step again, like it keeps improving, it could be really exciting.
Absolutely. I think it's a dog you just keep following through the grade. So it's still got much cheaper races than this to drop back to and go around in heading forward. So keep your eyes peeled there. But 2 excellent heats of the Paradise Street this Saturday night, and can't wait to see them. The final the week after will also be elite. Now, let's see if we can't find a winner for the punters for Cannington Wednesday night chasing. Troy, who have you come up with for the punters?
Yeah, found tonight a tricky card, Shorty. I went through the whole lot, and I've come back time again to the same greyhound, and that's Gideon Manali, race 4, number 8, brother to Stan. We know these 2 greyhounds very well. What an amazing litter they've turned out to be, and continuing to be. Small field. Box 8, yeah, box 8's not suitable for this greyhound. It can be a bit hit and miss at the start. It's not the most reliable beginner, but this is one of the easier races it's going to find class-wise that it's raced in for a while. Small field, if it gets the right run, it's going to be too good for these, I think. We're not going to get much value, but I think it's one we have to watch, and if you're doing exotics or multis, definitely be an anchor somewhere in the legs. So race 4, number 8, Gideon Manali for me.
Looks too classy for that lineup tonight. I found it a very challenging program with minimal confidence levels. I'm going to race 9, number 1, Mayday. This greyhound has certainly a veteran on the scene. It's done lots of racing over the duration for Mick McLennan, but I think from box 1 tonight, in what's not a strong lineup, this is as good a chance as Mayday is probably going to get for a little while to return to the winners list, around that $3.50 mark. So we're getting rewarded to get it right if it does happen to win tonight, off box number 1 in a very winnable race Race 9, number 1, Mayday, Mayday, to get the cash.
Hopefully, Shorty, we're not sending out an SOS after our tips tonight. But it's one of those cards where I reckon if the punters are winning after tonight, they're going to have their pockets full because there's probably plenty of value if you can find the right ones. But it's a tricky card.
Yeah, I tend to agree. But there are lots of opportunities Thursday night down at Mandurah, Friday night at Mandurah. If you get to make plans, get in contact with the team at Greyhounds WA, book a table down there and make a night of it. Or indeed, here at Cannington, the Box One restaurant, each and every Wednesday and Saturday night, get in contact with the team and book your table now. That's us done and dusted for the Wednesday preview. Thanks for your company. Make sure you tune in again this time next week for our next big edition.